What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you an announcement of the podcast from Dennis Neal. On top of that, guys, I will show you response of Charles Schwab in regards to the request that was written by one of our community member. And as the result of this, I will show you an upcoming letter and upcoming actions in the so-called non-litigation path to the resolution. And on top of that, I will show you some minor news that might also be quite interesting for you as MMTLP community. But before we dive deep into all of these, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this news. Dennis Neal wrote this just several hours ago. Breaking: my interview with the interpret Kristen Shaughnessy on MMTLP and related stock fraud out tomorrow on What's Bugging Me on Ricochet. And guys, you know that Dennis Neal is the host of his podcast and you can find it right here on Ricochet. He has a lot of listeners and he basically has a lot of impact in this social media sphere. That is why, guys, it might be very interesting to see this interview. And on top of that, I have to admit that Kristen Shaughnessy is the person who knows a lot in the problem of naked shorting in general and in MMTLP case in particular. And just recently he published a set of tweets that might also be quite interesting because, guys, we have a lot of forces on the market who tries to benefit out of the retail shareholders and their counterparties in general. And not all of them work properly, because potentially we might have wrongdoers who violate a lot of rules and who is trying to push the price of certain assets illegally. And just recently, guys, let me quote to this tweet that was written by Kristen Shaughnessy. It is not directly related to our case, but we can observe an indirect influence on our case. And let me quote you this. On January 22nd, Kristen Shaughnessy wrote, US regulators cannot continue to allow unsettled trades, counterfeit shares, to corrupt our financial markets. Follow the trades, the money. Who is going to? And she refers to this article that was published on January the 20th of this year. And it says, Anson funds under scanner for collusion with short seller Hindenburg. Is there a link to Anson founder's wife and Maho Moitra? And if you don't know what is this case about, let me show you that Hindenburg Research is the company. Wait a second, I will show you right here, that makes, basically it is a short seller, and this company used to make short sellers reports. And I have to admit that some of their reports are quite interesting. But here we had just a couple of days ago this news. Kevin Malone wrote this on January 19th. Hindenburg Securities fraud report dropped tonight. What a weekend. And here you can see the title of the article. Hindenburg Research involved in securities fraud along with Anson Funds, says report. And it is quite interesting to realize that it is not the only company who works in this field and who is trying to manipulate the market, let's put it this way. And definitely this fact might affect the entire US stock market. And let me quote you what did Scott Roth write. Third-party discovery will get to the bottom of the MMTLP shorts and naked shorts. Two names regularly surface when discussing MMTLP: Anson Funds, Roth Capital. The information dam will break eventually. Yes, guys, I have to admit that no one can hide this information infinitely. That is why if something is wrong, sometimes at some point in future we will know it, and at this point these wrongdoers will definitely regret about their actions. So let me show you another quite interesting news that shows how manipulative the stock market is. X-Market News wrote this 10 hours ago. Breaking: hedge funds are asking the SEC for short selling reporting delays. The MFA submitted a letter to Mark Uyeda, and Mark Uyeda is the current SEC chairman, urging him to repeal and delay significant portions of the regulator's agenda focused on enhancing transparency in the hedge fund sector. And guys, here's this letter in details. As you can see, it was written on January the 20th, at the day of Donald Trump inauguration, and we know that at this very day, Gary Gensler stepped down, and the current chairman of SEC for now is Mark Uyeda. And as you can see, this letter was submitted electronically. It was written to the Honorable Mark T. Uyeda, Acting Chair, Securities and Exchange Commission. And the topic of this letter is following: short position and short activity reporting by institutional investment managers. And here you can see the letter itself. Dear Acting Chair Uyeda, MFA and AIMA, and guys, these two companies are following: a Managed Funds Association and Alternative Investment Management Association. You can read what these companies are about, and it will give you more clarity of this letter. So, MFA and AIMA are submitting this letter on behalf of our respective members, respectfully requesting you to direct the staff of the Securities and Exchange Commission to provide assurance that they will not recommend enforcement action to the Commission under the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 if association members do not comply with the reporting requirements set forth in new Rule 13F-2 and related form. So guys, quite interesting letter, and definitely we have to keep an eye on this news, because it is very important to understand what decision will Mark Uyeda make in regards to this case, and it will definitely be the definition of his main trend. Will he act as a real SEC commissioner who want to protect the market and all the investors along this market, or will he cover the wrongdoers? And in this case, guys, I have a bad news for all of us. So let's switch to another update, and let's get back to the petition that was written by Daniel. For now, guys, as you can see, 313 people already signed this petition. Let's refresh the page. Wait a second. Yes, 313 people signed this petition. And take a look right here. We have an update from Daniel, and let me show you this. Just several hours ago he wrote this tweet: I reviewed what Schwab provided after my letter, but they refused to share their proprietary communications. I always ask kindly and give people the chance to do the right thing first. If Schwab wants to escalate this, so be it. And he added the screenshot of the letter, of the answer of Charles Schwab in regards to Daniel's request, and let me quote you this in details. So, this paragraph: after review of your letter, Schwab declines to share proprietary communications between FINRA and FINRA, SEC, the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, or American Stock Transfer and Trust Company regarding these securities. And the securities are following: MMTLP, MMAT, and MMATQ. And I have to admit that, wait a second, I will show you right here. Here is the original request Daniel wrote. In case anyone needs a reminder, this is what I asked. And yes, I know there is typos. They were fixed before it was sent. And let me show you, let me refresh your memory, because this letter was written by Daniel on December 17th, and I covered this in, I definitely covered it in one of my videos. Here is the request, a request for information. And he asked Schwab to basically disclose sensitive information in regards to all the trades and all the positions on MMTLP, MMAT, and MMATQ. And definitely this information could lead us to a very interesting and important conclusion. And what is more importantly, this information could give us a chance to identify the wrongdoers and to identify the position of Charles Schwab itself. And let me show you another quite interesting tweet. So wait a second, I will show you right here. Leroy Jenkins found some interesting detail of this letter. As you can see, it was signed by Charles Schwab, but it was written from Equinity. And here you can see the question: why is the address from Equinity Trust Company but signed by Charles Schwab? And Daniel responded, "Oh, because that's the second page. They were telling me earlier in the memo to go bother EQ instead." And Leroy responded, "Gotcha, that makes sense. Classic brokers making you do their job for them. Then you come back to them and they still tell you to go pound sand. So frustrating. Hang in there." And guys, yes, it is just the second page of the letter, and it is a part of the letter with the most important answer that Charles Schwab refused to disclose this information. But at the same time, guys, let's take a look at this tweet that was written by Daniel literally a couple of hours ago, and he wrote this: "An executive summary and pre-read for the open letter is sent by mail and email this Friday to all addressed. This serves as a precursor to the open letter and petition to the Senate Committee on Finance and Representative Ralph Norman set for February the 1st of 2025. And guys, let's take a look at this letter in details. As you can see, it was written by Sergeant Major Daniel R. Oxer, U.S. Army. And it is addressed to the multiple Senate committee members through a lot of other senators. And it was written just several hours ago. The date is January 23rd of 2025. The subject is following: executive summary for open letter addressing the December 9, 2022 MMTLP trading halt, December 13, 2022 deletion and lack of comprehensive response to congressional inquiries from Representative Ralph Norman and Representative Pete Sessions, December 22, 2023 and June the 5th of 2024 by SEC and FINRA. Background: the open letter highlights FINRA's unprecedented issuance of a U3 trading halt without adequate explanation or transparency, followed by the deletion of the MMTLP ticker. These actions created systemic uncertainty and left investors unable to reconcile their holdings. Regulatory bodies such as FINRA and SEC and the DTCC have failed to address synthetic share settlement discrepancies and failures to deliver, further exacerbating investor harm. Despite the SEC's awareness of irregularities as early as 2021 and its receipt of over 56,000 emails and 848 formal complaints, less than 0.1% have received a resolution. This inaction represents a breach of the SEC's core mission to protect investors and maintain fair markets. 2. Scope of damage. The damage caused by the MMTLP trading halt and subsequent ticker deletion is both extensive and deeply personal. Tens of thousands of investors have suffered significant financial losses and unable to access their holdings or liquidate positions. This has led to devastating consequences, including reports of investors driven to suicide, the breakdown of friendship and marriages, and toxic environment within the ex-MMTLP community. Groupthink, cyberbullying, and misinformation have fueled infringing wild incidents of user doxing and the sharing of personal identifiable information have been used to harass and intimidate others. These behaviors have intensified the emotional toll, fostering a climate of fear and distrust. Beyond individual losses, this crisis has undermined public confidence in U.S. financial markets, revealing systemic vulnerabilities and demand urgent attention. Immediate resolution is critical to address these damages, support the affected community, and restore trust in the regulatory system. 3. Purpose. This open letter addresses unresolved systemic failures stemming from the December 9, 2022 trading halt and December 13, 2022 deletion of MMTLP shares. These actions by FINRA, compounded by the SEC and DTCC's prolonged inaction, have left tens of thousands of investors without resolution or recourse undermining trust in the U.S. financial system. The letter draws attention to the original congressional inquiry led by Representative Ralph Norman and 74 co-signers on December 22, 2023, and the follow-up memo on June 5, 2024. Despite the significant time elapsed, over 400 days, no meaningful public action or accountability has followed, leaving investors in financial and legal limbo. Number 4. Request for information. The letter requests detailed information regarding the decisions and actions taken by FINRA, the SEC, and the DTCC in relation to the December 9, 2022 youth recall and subsequent deletion of the MMTLP ticker. Specifically, it seeks transparency on the rationale behind the halt, reconciliation of outstanding trades and synthetic shares, and efforts to address failures to deliver. It also requests access to trading data, such as blue sheets, internal communications, and compliance documentation related to MMTLP and associated entities. Request for action. This is the most important part. The letter calls on Congress to take immediate and decisive action to address the systemic regularity failures that have perpetuated the MMTLP crisis. Specifically, it requests Congress to initiate a Government Accountability Office investigation into the civil failures of FINRA, the SEC, and the DTCC, alongside a Department of Justice investigation into potential criminal violations, including market manipulation and synthetic share creation. It also calls for the release of comprehensive trading data, a forensic audit of MMTLP trading activity, legislative reforms to improve oversight of self-regulatory organizations, and protocols for extraordinary trading halts. Immediate restitution for affected investors is essential to restoring trust in US financial markets. So guys, I have to admit that this letter, and let me explain you all the details about Daniel's actions. On the one hand, he has his lawsuit that was filed originally as a pro se lawsuit, but for now he has a couple of co-plaintiffs and he also hired a professional lawyer. And this is the first path to the resolution, potential path to the resolution. The second path is these letters that were written by Daniel as well, and he is trying to request the information before these requests will be requested through his litigation process. And this is very important because first of all, guys, he basically saves the time of MMTLP community. Just recently, just several months ago, he filed his lawsuit, and inside the lawsuit itself, it could be the procedure that might request this information. But if Daniel, as a plaintiff, requests this information up front, it will definitely save the time for the judge to make a decision and to make a ruling, at least at the part of the disclosure of this sensitive information. And in my opinion, it is very important to understand. So guys, that is why I highly encourage you to support Daniel in his efforts.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad.